Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to teach you how to go from 0 to 100p in mining power in the free play to earn crypto game RollerCoin. I'm going to guide you through different strategies that you can follow that are perfect to grow your account fast as a beginner as well as an intermediate player. And this video is going to be super detailed, so make sure that you are paying close attention so you will not make the mistakes that I did when I first started out. Here's a screenshot of myself when I first registered. You will start with an empty room and of course you have a character, and then you will need to fill up your room with racks as well as miners, and we will go through everything you need to know to grow as fast as possible. Everything you will see in today's video is going to be fully free to play. Let's get started with the very basics. On the left side here you will find your mining power, and at the beginning when you are registering this will be of course on 0, and you will need to acquire your very first rack and a few miners to actually push your mining power. And in order to get your first miners and your first racks, you will need a currency that is called roller token. Those roller token are the basic currency in RollerCoin, and you can get your hands on roller token in a variety of ways. One of the most simplest way to actually do it is through the daily quest that you can find here on the left bottom side, where it says that you can earn roller token on the task wall, and this quest will actually pay you a few more roller token every day on top. And every single day there is going to be random quests here, so this will of course change. And some days you're gonna make a lot more roller token than other days. Also there's a weekly quest where you can earn 10 roller token throughout the entire week, and then you get another 20 token fully for free on top. You always get also season tokens that we get into later, and you get experience for a season pass. So let's say you did your first quest and you got a couple of roller token into your wallet up here, then you can go into the marketplace to actually go and say I want my first rack to get started. And the first rack that you will purchase is most likely going to be the regular rack. I recommend you purchase those ones that have 4 of those lines, because here you have 8 cells that you can place miners on. There's 2 cell miners and 1 cell miners. To give you a quick overview of the different types of miners, the Shroomy for example would be a 1 cell miner. It takes only 1 slot as you can see here in the picture, and then you have those 2 cell miners, which is the standard size, which takes the entire line of the rack. So on a basic rack you can place up to 4 miners, and this will cost you only 4 cents, and then you will need of course to acquire your first miner. These miners you can also find in the marketplace, and you can basically filter here through everything you wanna see. And the first miners, if you want something really cheap, they're not going to cost you a fortune, but of course you will now be overwhelmed as a complete new player because there's way too many miners in the marketplace and they come at a lot of different prices, and you will now need to know, okay, which of the miners should I really purchase, what should I go for, and that leads us to the actual strategies that we're gonna go into. At the very beginning, after you registered to the game, you will have the first room. The first room is a little bit smaller than the other ones. In total you will be able to place 48 miners into that room. This one is fully free, you don't need to pay anything for the room, and when your first room is full, then you will need to actually get room number 2 for 20 roller token. Room number 3 will cost you 50 roller token, and room number 4 is very expensive at 120 roller token. If we go back to the example of my room, I only have 3 of them. I didn't purchase the 4th room yet because it's really expensive, and we will need to figure out how to maximize the space we have in each room in order to get to our goal of 100p in mining power. And for that we're gonna need to figure out what amount of mining power per miner we should actually consider purchasing. In this example we are going to purchase miners that have an average of 0.5p in power, and they come with 1% bonus power. So we are going back into the marketplace, and we're gonna filter here inside of the marketplace for the miners. When you click on miners you get a new bunch of stuff that you can filter for up here. We're gonna filter after the lowest price to the highest price. We are going to say that we want an average of 500k in mining power. That means I'm going to start searching everything that has 300,000 or more, and we want to have at least 1% of bonus power. And with strategy number 1, you will need to purchase 100 miners that fit our details here so that we actually get to our goal of 100p in power. And if you're gonna estimate the average of what we need to spend, then we have here for example the Stone Guardian, which is the cheapest miner that fits our criteria. We have 440k in power and 1% bonus power. We need 100 of those kind of miners miners, but they cannot be the same miners because otherwise the bonus percentage will not count and we will end up with a lot less mining power. So we need to choose different ones, and that makes this a little bit more expensive. As you can see, the Cybersun, for example, has a little bit more mining power, but it comes already at 2.4 roller token. So I would say the average that you would need to spend for this kind of strategy to reach your first 100p in mining power is approximate 3 roller token to maybe 3.5 or 4 roller token per miner. And as we said, we needed 100 of those miners. So let's calculate that really quickly. 100 miners multiplied by an average of probably 4 roller token. Then you will spend 400 roller token and you're gonna be technically at the goal of 100p in mining power. But of course, now we need to keep in mind, hey, we have only 48 slots. So with 100 miners, we will already need the second room. As I said before, it is really important. The second room is not going to be free. So this will cost us another 20 of those coins. So we need actually 420 roller token to get to 100p in mining power with strategy number 1. Now you're gonna probably ask yourself, but how many roller token can you make in a single day? So let's do the calculation there really quickly too. We're gonna open another calculator here and we are going to take my quests as a reference here for today. Of course, those ones are random and you some days make more and some days you make a little bit less. Today I made only 37 cents on the task wall, which then gave me another 1 roller token on top. So I made 1 roller token 37, and this is only for 1 day. So if I would do only what I did today every single day throughout the week, then I will make a little bit less than 10 roller token. So let's just say I make a little more. I make 150 a day so that we are actually getting our weekly quest done, which then again gives us 20 roller token on top. So with just doing the basic daily quests that we have today, which are on the lower end actually, we will end up with 30 roller token in a single week. And also in the weekends, most of the time there's a quest where you make 5 roller token, so you could technically get another 20 roller token every single week just on the weekend. So we will be able to get around 50 roller token every single week, which in a month will give us around 200 roller token. So in the example of strategy number 1, where we needed 420 roller token, we will need around 2 months to actually achieve our goal of 100p in mining power. And this is if we are keeping in mind only the roller token that we can earn and if we are purchasing the miners from strategy number 1. But now there's one really important thing to keep in mind, because every single time you do daily tasks, you're automatically going to do the weekly quests and you will get those season tokens, and this will apply to every single strategy that will follow up on this one. With the season tokens you can purchase some really crazy good miners in the season store. Those ones are changing every season, but for now let's stick to the mining power that we have here. Every single week you will be able to get around 2k of those season tokens depending on how many quests you are doing, and in the first week after doing the daily quest you will already be able to purchase the Snow Blaster, which comes at 2p of power. And after another 2.5 to 3 weeks, depending on how many quests you do, you will be able to purchase the Tree Invader with 5.4p. So after 1 month of doing daily quests, you will be able to purchase 7.5p of mining power without spending any roller token. And that is pretty awesome, because now we need 7.5p of mining power less that we need to purchase from here. So we would need to purchase 15 miners less, which also we would need to go and deduct from our calculation here. So we need to spend an average of actually not 100 times 4, but 85 times 4 roller token. And then of course we will still need the second room. So we actually go and say plus 20 here. So the first strategy, you will need 360 roller token. And when we are going with the bare minimum of our example, then we now will need a little bit less than 2 months to actually acquire this. So this is pretty fast. Let's type it down. So it costs us around 360 roller token and an estimate of 1.5 to 2 months. Also, by doing the daily things every single day, you will automatically fill the season pass, and here you get a lot more mining power that I will now not include in today's video. It will make the calculation really impossible actually, but just keep this in mind that you will need a little bit less time than we actually calculate because of the season pass as well. So strategy number 1 sounds really good already, right? So you're good to go. You can perfectly fine get to 100p in mining power with a very little time of 1.5 months, and you need only 360 roller token, and you are good to go now. You don't need to take into account the next strategies. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Don't run away yet. There's a lot more to this, because now you already have 2 rooms almost completely full, and this is not really going to be too future oriented. So I want to get into strategy number 2, where we now purchase miners with 0.5p in power. So the base mining power is the same, but we're gonna purchase them with 2% in bonus power, and let's gonna see what will happen when we are actually doing the average calculation of that. We will already see that they are a lot more expensive here, but we need a lot less miners, and space is really important. So you need to look at the price and think a little bit more future oriented by doing so. Here you already can see that they cost an average like 7 roller token, or sometimes even 8 roller token, and we need approximate 78 of them. So the price will get more expensive because we need to purchase different miners. So let's say we need to spend an average of 9 of those roller tokens to get our room filled with 78 miners. Now we deduct the 7.5p, so we need only to purchase 63 with an average of approximate 10 roller token. So you will already see that this is quite expensive, and this will cost us 630 roller token compared to strategy number 1 with 360 roller token. So this would be a problem. We need now actually 3 months to go here, so we will spend a lot more money and we need a lot more time for this. Let's get into strategy number 3. Now we're gonna purchase miners that are having 1p in mining power and 1% of bonus power. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna undercut our average mining power a little bit again, and we're gonna say 1% bonus power. Then we are going to search for it, and you're gonna notice really quickly that they are not much more expensive than the ones with 500k in power, and we're gonna need around 62 of those miners to reach our goal of 100p in strategy number 3. And to make our estimate now, we have 63 miners that will cost us probably anywhere from 5 to maybe 8 roller token, depending on the current market prices. So let's just calculate it with 8 roller token at this point. So we will need 62 of the miners at an average price of 8. So let's multiply it by 8. That would be 500 roller token. It is still 62 miners that we need to purchase, but of course we can exclude again the season token miners that we can purchase. So we would need to purchase 7 less. So that would be another 56 roller tokens saved. So we will need to spend 440 roller token into strategy number 3. And those 440 roller token we can get in around 2 months. So this is pretty similar to strategy number 1, except that we only have filled around 60 slots in our room. So we will still need 2 rooms, yes, but you have a lot more space left to improve for the future, and you are already at 100p. Meanwhile, here you have 100 slots occupied, and I cannot stress this enough because it's really important to understand this. The rooms are very limited and they get very expensive, so you need to make the most out of your rooms that you can. So every single slot matters. And that being said, let's get into strategy number 4, where we're gonna go and purchase the same mining power, but now with 2% bonus power. We go to the marketplace again, we undercut the base mining power, but we're gonna say, okay, 2% bonus power. We will actually see the prices going up again, but of course, because the bonus power is way higher, we will need way less miners. Also in strategy number 4, you can deduct the season miners that you can purchase. So you will actually end up purchasing only like 43 of those ones. And then you can already see what will happen here. You will have, plus those 2 miners from the season, only 1 room occupied. You don't need the second room anymore. So when we make the calculation of those miners that we need 43 of, we will actually see that we will need to spend probably more than 10 roller token. Let's just go with an average of, I would say, 15 roller token for the 43 of those ones. So we will need to calculate 43 multiplied by 15 roller tokens. So we need to spend an average of 645 2.5 roller token for strategy number 4, but we only have 1 room occupied, so this is pretty good already. But of course this will cost us way more time than the other one. This will cost us 3+ months to actually acquire this, so I don't think strategy number 4 is the way to go yet. Let's see what will happen if we are increasing the average power to 1.5p and we are purchasing miners with 1% bonus power, because this would mean we need only 46 of them and they probably are going to be way cheaper. We're gonna undercut again the actual mining power to, let's say, 1.2p, because the average will be 1.5 that we want to purchase with 1% bonus. Then we will see here already that those miners are going to cost us starting 6.5 roller token at current market prices, and they are not getting too expensive here. If we are going to the second page, we're gonna have here 9 roller token for something really good, and then we have some miners that are even higher bonus power than the ones that we want to purchase with 1%, so they come at a really good price, and the average that I would estimate is around 14 to 15 roller token. And as I said, in this strategy you will need only 46 of them minus the 7.5p from the season pass. You will need to purchase 41 of them, so we have an average of 15 roller token times 45, so this will cost us 675 roller token, and we will need for this around 3 months again. So let's just put it down, 675 RLT and 2 months to actually reach our goal of 100p in power. So this doesn't look too convincing neither, I would say. Let's go with strategy number 6, where we're gonna go and say we want a miner with the same mining power again with 1.5p, and we're gonna now increase the bonus power. So we're gonna just switch the numbers here. So in the example of strategy number 6, we will need 38 miners if we would exclude the ones from the season pass, and let's see the average price of that. As you can see here, the first one costs you 10 roller token again, and then it gets way more expensive than that, of course. So the average, I would say, is around like 18 roller token, maybe even a little bit more, but you of course need way less of the miners, and most of them come with a lot higher bonus power, so technically you will need to purchase way less of those miners. But we're gonna go with 38 minus 5 because of the season miners as a reference, so we will need to purchase 33 of those miners at an average price point of 20 roller token. So we will now have spent another 660 roller token, which is very similar to strategy number 5, and it will take us around 3+ months like the strategy number 5. I just noticed that I made a mistake here, excuse me for this. Of course here we will need 3+ months as well for strategy number 5. So those two strategies are very similar on paper, and the only thing that is a big difference here is that here you still have 10 slots space inside of your mining room. Meanwhile in strategy number 5 you would need to now purchase the second room already, and this is going to be really important later to keep this in mind. Now let's go with strategy number 7, when we are going with way higher mining power, which is 3p, and we go back to 1% bonus power, and now you're gonna see a crazy magic happening here. I'm gonna undercut it again, and let's say we're gonna search for 2.7p. We need to now make up our mind what will be the average price for that. In total we would need to purchase only 27 miners compared to the 38 before, and those 27 miners will cost us anywhere from 15 roller token to 19 roller token. Some of them will be a little bit more expensive than that, but almost all of those miners starting in this category will have a bigger bonus power than we are actually searching for, because most of the high-end miners, not all of them of course, but most of them will have a really good bonus power, so you will need to purchase a lot less of them than we are actually expecting here on paper. But I'm gonna go and say, you know what, even if they had only 1%, we need 27 of them, and they cost us probably an average of 24 to 25 roller token plus minus, maybe even 30 roller token. So let's do the crazy calculation and say we need of those ones around 25, if you keep in mind that we have the seasonal miners again. That would cost us 750 roller token and 3.5 to 4 months here in this case. So this is getting really crazy, but you have now only occupied 27 slots in your first mining room. Again, the slots in the mining room are very limited, so that you will need to look at this future oriented, because now if this one would be already full and you will need to purchase this one, then you will need to purchase racks again, you need to be aware that the room will cost you money, and the third one will be even more expensive. So keeping that in mind, let's go to strategy number 8, where we are going to purchase miners with 3p in power and 2% plus bonus power. So we are now going to basically filter out all of those higher tier miners with low bonus power, and we're gonna see what will happen here. The average price might not change too much, but now that we have here those ones filtered out with 1%, we need a lot less miners again. We need only 23 of them, and if we keep the seasonal miners in mind, we need only 21 miners. And if we want to purchase 21 miners with the average information that we are searching for, then you will notice really quickly that most of those miners already don't come with 3p in mining power anymore, or with 4p in power, so you will actually purchase a lot less. But let's just make the calculation with 21 instead, and let's say that those miners are going to cost us a crazy amount of probably 40 roller token, right? Then we will have 21 times 40 roller token, so we will need around 800 plus roller token. That will be around 4 months or a little bit more again. So with strategy number 8, you have only 23 miners purchased, but you spend around 800 roller token, and of course it takes 4 months. But I'm gonna go and show you now the pros and cons of all of those strategies, because of course strategy number 1 is very inexpensive and it takes you very low time, but you will need to very soon purchase the room number 3 already. And if you are purchasing another one of those ones, you will see that our mining power only grows to 101p in power, and we need another slot for this. With strategy number 2, if you are going to purchase another one of the miners that fits the criteria, you will grow another 2p in mining power, so here it gets a bit better already. Then with the third strategy, if you purchase another miner of this one, you will go from 100p to 102.6p. So this is another really good growth of 2p in power. In the fourth strategy, if you go with the 50 miners that you will need to have exactly 100p and you purchase another one, then you will go to 103p in power. So the exponential growth is starting to kick in the fourth strategy, way better than in the other ones. The worst one is the first strategy, because your rooms will fill up really quickly with a super small exponential growth. Even though you're spending the least amount of money, I think this one has the least potential out of all of them. And strategy number 1 is also the one that I followed at the very beginning, and I'm regretting it a tiny bit, because I still at this very point have some of the miners that are very bad, that I'm carrying around since a long time, and I just simply cannot get rid of them. I spent roller token into them and they're just lying around. They are really useless by now, they are not so strong. So let's get into strategy number 5. If you would purchase another one of the miners of strategy number 5, you will end up with a mining power of 103. So this is a 3p increase per new miner, and keep in mind you still are only at 1 room. So this is pretty crazy, and it keeps getting crazier the higher strategy we are going for. I'm trying to make a point. I hope that I can explain it and that everyone will understand what I want to point out here. In strategy number 6, when you purchase 1 more miner, you already get 4p in power on top. So this is pretty crazy. In strategy number 7, you would go from 103p in power with 1 miner more to 107. So you already get 5p in power for another 1 miner that you are purchasing with the exact same strategy and stats. And in strategy number 8, if you purchase 1 more miner, you will actually go from 100p in mining power to 106. So this is a growth of 6p in mining power, and you are still having 24 slots left inside of your room. So if you would fill all of the room with the miners that we are saying here with 3p in power and 2% bonus power, then you will already end up with 300p in power almost, and you would need to spend only double the money that you have standing here. So that would be 1600 roller token to get 3 times the amount of power. In the case of strategy number 7, you will have 48 miners here, and you will have a total mining power of only 200p in power, and you will spend around 1500 roller token. In strategy number 6, if you fill your entire room, you will end up with only 141p in mining power, and you will need to purchase another 9 of them, which then will be around, let's say, 750 roller token. So on paper this looks pretty good in tokens spent, but you have only 140p, so I don't think this is really good. We have the strategy number 5, where you would actually be able to purchase only one more miner before you need the next room, so you will end up with 106p in power. And in all of the other strategies above, the room is already full, so you would need to basically fill the second room already that you needed to pay money for. So I don't think that strategy number 1 to 4 are very future oriented, because if you're thinking about it like this and you continue this strategy for another 2 or 3 months, then you will already need the fourth room, which costs you 120 roller token, and your exponential growth is just basically not there anymore, because even if you fill all of the rooms, which are around 250 miners, you have only 400p in mining power. You spend a lot of space and a lot of roller token, and now you will need to start to exchange those miners actually, and you will end up having nothing over a lot of time spent. Meanwhile, the real crazy exponential growth is when you put quality over quantity in strategy number 8, where now when you put 250 of those miners inside of your room, you will end up with 4500p in mining power. Of course, this is extraordinary expensive compared to strategy number 1 if you are following it, but the exponential growth is going to kick in. And don't forget that RollerCoin is a play to earn game, so the higher mining power you actually get, the higher will be your payout. So seeing these numbers, it is absolute ridiculous to get to 4.5k in power with a base mining power that is very low. And I think the exponential growth is really important to understand. 2.5 months ago in November, when I started again, I was at 50p in mining power, and I exponentially grow my account to 1.8a. This is 1800p. So I got 1750p in mining power in just about 2.5 months because of the exponential growth. And we are having here the strategy number 8, which I just want to use to point out that the quality matters a lot more than the quantity. Even though it looks really good that you have a lot of miners in a room, you will already notice really quickly that the entire room that you see here has way less mining power than a single miner in my first room. My first miner has 33p in power, and if you would probably calculate all of the miners here in the back, then you will maybe get to 10p or something. So quality matters, guys, and you need to make up your mind which of the strategies you want to follow. I gave you a baseline. If you have any questions regarding these strategies, please leave them down in the comments below. I know that this video was super complicated and a lot of information. I hope that I was able to explain everything how I have it in my mind to explain. Let me know if you understood everything or if there is more questions. I'm here to help you guys. You don't need to worry about anything. I got you covered. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.